Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I did it with Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your hair. Hey. What's happening, good people? How y'all doing out there? Y'all like my little hat? What's happening? How y'all doing out there? Y'all know who it is, right? It is the one and only your homegirl, Ladosha, right? AKA Key Lolo. And we are coming to you live and direct from sunny, it's a little balmy here, Cleveland, Ohio. And we are about, what am I thinking? I think we're like 181 episodes. We're just moving on up there. 181 episodes in. And tonight we're just going to answer the question, why most people choose the wrong hairstylist. It's all about vetting. Now, in case they don't know, Cheryl, before we get into what's happening over in San Diego, we're talking about the dumbest shit people say about black hair. Our summer podcast series begins with the miseducation of curly hair, not to be confused with the miseducation of Lauryn Hill or the miseducation of the Negro, though that's a little play on it up there. But the miseducation of curly hair, we got to get the public in the know. And so typically we have guests on Thursday, but this particular topic, we need to hear from other professionals because on this podcast, right, Cheryl?
Yep.
America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. We want to save the consumers money and time, and we want to empower you so you are not wasting money in salons, on products, and your time and all that good stuff on hairstyles that you don't like. So we got to help you guys out. So Cheryl, what's happening over in San Diego as we get this? I see y'all coming on in. Get ready, y'all. We got Savannah Harmon. She is out of Las Vegas, Nevada, aka the Sheer Master. So you guys are going to be in for a royal treat tonight if you are tired of paying hairstylist money and y'all just ain't satisfied. So Cheryl, what's happening over in sunny San Diego?
Blue skies, peace.
It's a rumor.
Wait a minute. We got the heat and no ice.
Oh, she coming through because this the rumor. The rumor I heard was that what my little No Kings at? The No Kings parade. I hear that San Diego brought out record numbers in the No Kings nationwide day of defiance. Is that true or is that false?
We showed up, we showed out, we showed in, we showed them what we was made of, and we are not just America's finest city for nothing. We say, excuse me, we live without ice. Okay.
Ooh,
we don't know what that's about. We bring the heat. Okay.
I shared with you that everybody keeps saying that, why are we letting the Mexicans come in, across the border without, the proper way and all of this, that, and the third. And I was like, but didn't they come from Ellis Island? Didn't they come from Europe as immigrants? I mean, is it the Caucasian that speaks English against the Caucasians that speak Spanish? Are they still doing the conquistadors against the, is Ferdinand and them still mad at, what's his name? Louis de Vuitton.
That's a very good point. Most people think that Spanish is not a European language. It actually is.
Yeah,
it is.
What's up, Real Roots? Come on, y'all. Come on through. LB, I just ate some bologna. LB, I ate some bologna. What's up, Sandra, our virtual co-host? We got a good one for you guys tonight. We're firing on all cylinders. So we're rocking out. Hey, Michelle Allen, how you doing? Hey, Yate. can I inbox you my phone number? Because I'm struggling with what's happening with our visuals over on Instagram. So I need your help. Okay. So I need you to help a sister out. All right. So I think you know how they're still upset about, like the what you call those people, the Confederates. The Confederates is still upset about the Civil War.
Well, you
so
have
the
to remember
conquistadors is still upset with Louis de Vuitton and them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the Civil War.
Louis de Vuitton is upset with them.
Right. The Civil War did have an unnatural ending.
Yeah.
I don't know if it had an ending.
It didn't. I mean, if you look at what's happening now, these folks are still upset. Y'all can hit that thumbs up button on this hat. But what do y'all see Miss Savannah? We about to bring Miss Savannah in. And when y'all see her, y'all gonna be like, MC Light. Hot damn hoe, here we go again. Hard as a rock, light as a fan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, woo-wee, this girl is fine. So you guys better get ready. We're going to be bringing her in any moment now. But just a couple of, stuff. I got to put this up here right quick, Cheryl. I have to. Look at that. And y'all better hit that thumbs up button on that cuteness. Is that you, Cheryl?
That is I.
She got rough and stuff with her afro puffs. And look at her dad. And who's that in the back?
That's my brother.
Oh, I could tell. I didn't know whether it would have been your cousin, but he looks exactly like. Look at his eyebrows. He's got your dad's your dad he stained y'all real good. He put the moral stamp on them children. So what book is that? I know that's not a kiddie book.
That is the print. Well, when Ebony Photographers followed him across the globe, and they wanted, as he returned home, they said, we're going to come to your house, right? And so they came and they said, oh yeah, it looked like you're reading them a book. And I said, here, daddy. He said, no, you're going to read this book. So that's the principles of cutting Negro hair.
The principles of cutting Negro hair. Now, what year was this? 1980 what?
That was 1973.
1973. And now remember, guys, there are people out here purporting to be curly hair experts, but they don't know anything about Dr. Willie Morrow, who wrote the first Curly Hair Science book. And there he is. What a wonderful Father's Day picture. So happy Heavenly Father's Day to Dr. Willie Morrow. And I just wanted to share that too. Also, we are about to get ready to bring in Savannah. But we have one more super duper shout out because I'm out here in these social media streets. I know I'm just getting down with it.
Shucks.
So I got to send this out to Miss Laura MW22. And so Cheryl sent this video and I was like, I'm about to subscribe to this lady's channel. And so she said, hey, I just checked out your channel. I love it. So she just subscribed. And so that moved us up a notch. We're not quite at 3,000 yet. It keeps going up and down. We got to get a solid, 3,000 followers. I'm gonna check and see did we get there yet. Let's see where we're at. So we're trying to get there. Okay, we're almost there. We need to maybe 10 more people because it keeps going up and down. Hit that. Come on, subscribe. So thank you so much, Miss Laura, for subscribing to the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. This is how we get down. So we appreciate all of the support. And before I bring Savannah in case you guys are wondering, what is this podcast I'm listening to right here on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and of course, YouTube and Instagram. You are listening to the dumbest shit that people say about Black hair. And tonight, boy, you can't get no dumber than paying for hairstyles that you don't like. And so we're not going to act like that is not something of an unfortunate phenomenon that is happening in our industry, but we are well aware that consumers are fed up. And our de facto producer, Esther T. Jones, said it would be really good if you guys could bring people on. So this young lady that I'm about to bring on, her name is Savannah Harmon. She is out of Las Vegas, Nevada. She knows her stuff. Let me just put a little picture up so y'all can get ready. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better get ready because Savannah ain't nothing to play around with. Anybody take a picture like this, it's levels to this shit out here. Y'all don't understand. And Mia sure cannot be the only person. So it's a very valid point to be paying for services that you're not satisfied with. How do you vet? I think people are afraid to vet. People are afraid to talk about the incompetence. I'm not, because
or even
I am.
like
Yeah, I mean, so Savannah is going to bring us the heat. She's the sheer master. She left Cleveland for Las Vegas, but I ain't gonna hate. So I need y'all to put your hands together for the one and only. She's Cleveland's homegirl, but now she is Las Vegas sheer master, the industry favorite. Put your hands together for the one and only Savannah Harmon, aka the sheer master. Bam, there's a little bit.
Hello.
We got 400,000 people checking us out. Come on now. All right. All right. That is what it's all about. So, Savannah, thank you so very much to grace us with your beauty, your expertise, and of course, your passion. It's not like, you just here for the coins. Everybody like, I got to get them coins. We ain't knocking making money. But there are levels to this. So, with that being said, thank you again so very much. So we got to start off, with your background, because people definitely want to know who you are. Now, I do have your bio here, so I'm gonna read off the bio because we gotta do the right thing. We gotta read the bio, but nothing like hearing a different perspective. Because I know when you're introduced, you're like, oh, that's nice, but there's more to me than just that. So she's born and raised, guys, in Cleveland, Ohio. I got to do it. Woo, 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 woo. If you don't know what that means, I don't say nothing, all right? So she's born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. This is where she launched her career. Her foundation as a cosmetologist is in precision, artistry, and discipline that sets the tone for a career rooted in what? Excellence. And I keep telling y'all, that is the lesson I learned on my first trip to West Africa, the Gambia, that Black excellence or excellence is the norm. So she's already telling you her foundation in precision, artistry, and discipline set the tone for a career rooted in excellence. So now she's based in Las Vegas, Nevada. She's the owner of Salon. Is this Culture?
Culture, yeah.
Okay, it's spelled really fancy, Culture and Sweets. It's a full service salon offering hair, nails, skin, and glam. Does she look glam? I mean, you got that glam. Hit that thumbs up button for that glam. Come on now. Glam stuff. Her salon is not only known for its elevated aesthetics, but also a hub for innovation and education and beauty. And again, that excellence just keeps sticking out. She's an industry educator. This is true. I actually bumped into her at an educational forum at Bronner Brothers show last year. Me and Cheryl was like, oh shit, there goes Savannah. What you talking about, Willis? She's founded the Salon Apprentice University. Oh, hold on. I got to put the clap button for that. Hold on. So we got to drop the bomb. She got a university. Now, I need to go to that yesterday. And we're going to talk about that university a little bit more into detail. And if you want to know what it is, for all of the customers who are listening, you can tell your stylist to reach out to her, because this Salon Apprentice University is a training platform designed to help licensed cosmetologists advance their skills in modern styling. I'm going to put modern business and modern brand development. We ain't knocking straight in the combs, y'all, but we got to do some more stuff, okay? Then last, of course, she is an award-winning stylist. She's been featured in several platforms, including the cover of Glamour magazine, a Netflix TV series, a live Twitch stream from the Sports, Women, and Gaming Awards. Woo la la. Beyond the chair, Savannah is a fierce advocate for the future of the beauty industry, which we got to talk about that. She used her platform to bring attention to legislative issues impacting beauty professionals in Nevada, including her involvement in Bill AB 225. When I saw her do her live on that, I'm telling you, I was like, we got to bring you on the show because
Absolutely.
we want you guys to know that professionals are involved in the lawmaking, the legislative process. I know that's not talked about. It's not glamorous. You don't get a million views for this, but it's really important because if Savannah does not go to those places and give testimony, then there would be no Savannah, the sheer master, and all of the other people who she's training to, continue the legacy of excellence. Excuse me. Her mission is clear, and I gotta read this: to empower beauty professionals to build lasting careers by combining artistry, education, and industry advocacy. You see how that was up at the top, came back down at the bottom? That's what you call Savannah, the sheer master excellence, baby. I like the way you pulled that all together, because empowerment is really important, especially when we're talking about a topic such as why most people choose the wrong hairstylist. So as we give the backdrop to why people choose to, and we're going to actually go into that, give us a little bit more in detail why you chose excellence over and above, the actual style itself. Of course, the aesthetics of how cool it looks to be, excellent, but you put excellence at the focal point. So why did you do that in an era of social media where excellence is not, it's not sexy, it's not trio, it's not on fleek.
No, it's not, and it's not trending. But first, I want to thank you, Miss Ladosha and Miss Cheryl. I appreciate you all for extending this opportunity to me and sharing your platform with me and trusting me to come and be a voice and speak to your audience. So thank you again, Ladosha. Your passion is always so inspiring. Every time I see you, hear you, whatever you're doing, whether it's Atlanta, Cleveland, I know you are fighting for us. So thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. And I'm also honored to be amongst our industry royalty, Miss Cheryl Morrow. So thank you both.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you very much.
And to answer your question, why excellence? So when I was training under my mentor, my mentor, Christopher Blue in
I got to
Cleveland.
bring up his picture. I love Chris. I love that dang
I
Chris Blue.
definitely, I can attribute to him that I learned what excellence truly is and how to set myself apart in the industry. So that has been very impactful to my career in setting myself apart and having integrity. Even before having an actual mentor in this industry, my mother instilled in me integrity above all else. And when you have integrity, it's hard not to go after excellence because at the end of the day, I don't want anyone to speak ill will toward my name, right? I want them to know that I'm a professional at all times. This is the only job I've had is in this industry. So the importance of excellence to me was setting myself apart as a professional and not just a hustler in this industry. I wanted to be respected as a professional and not a hustler. I don't want you to feel you can negotiate my prices with me because this is what I do for a living. This is how I feed my family.
I was going to ask you, I was finna get a little Getrin, okay? Or as my son would say, urban fabulous. So when you, because Cheryl has this thing against hustlers. Can I say against hustlers, Cheryl? Is that okay?
I say it a little different. Come on now, Lolo.
I'm sorry, because I want you to expand on that. But go ahead, Cheryl. So there's Chris Blue. In case you guys,
I think that she is correct, and you too as well. But we're heirs, and heirs don't hustle.
Okay.
Heirs, and that is a different state of mind. But go ahead. I moved it.
Okay. No. Okay. We just want to know. When you say hustlers versus the excellence, because now this particular podcast is for the consumer, and so the consumer may not be aware that they are the hustlers or the stylist is the hustler. So if you could just kind of give them some context, maybe from both a hustling client and a hustling stylist.
So a hustling client for me is someone that think there's always room for them, right? That no matter how much money they can put in front of you, that you're chasing the money. That's a hustling client from my perspective. A hustling stylist is someone that just work when they need it. That's when they're more so showing up, is when they want it. And it lacks some consistency at times where ugh, you're not operating fully as a company.
I love it.
Because you can be bought in many ways. So I think it's a different approach. I do believe that you do need some form of hustle in you to be successful in this industry, but I also think that there's a certain mindset required, that you an elevated mindset that goes beyond hustling, because hustling will only get you but so far.
Wow, that's very powerful. Now, to the consumer, we hope you guys can discern when we're asking the question why most people choose the wrong hairstylist. Savannah has given us a clear context in how you, the consumer, could be, what's that word, complicit,
Yes.
and what in your own demise to your hair, but then also the professional who's kind of in the same mindset. I remember when I was an outreach worker, right? And we had a staff person who a family had like invited her to some type of a gathering, and she went because she just was trying to ingratiate herself with the client and gain some trust, like that type of thing. And we came back to work, and it was an emergency staff meeting. And to make a long story short, the director encouraged us to not take on the behavior of the people that we are servicing. And I think that in our industry, that is something that I see when you talk about excellence. That's the customer can somehow, some way influence the technician to not be professional. So do you see the same thing? Can you speak to that? Because we want you consumers to understand that hairstylists are human too, and sometimes they fall short. Not to make an excuse, but I just want Savannah to explain that you all definitely have an impact and an influence on our careers and how we choose to act or not act behind the chair. So can you speak to that just a little bit, and then we'll go into some more stuff.
Yeah. I'll choose my words carefully, because I got to remember we're talking to consumers and not only professionals. But
But
one thing
we do have licensed professionals. They are in the chat. They
okay.
do watch. They do watch.
Okay. So one thing I teach the stylists that I mentor and train is reflect who you want to attract. And I think us as people in general, whatever relationship we are seeking, we oftentimes attract people that is something about us that we attract those same type of people to us. So if you are attracting a stylist that you feel she a little rough around the edges, or if that's the rapport of stylist you typically go for, then I would say do some self-reflecting of why do you keep choosing those type of stylists? Because there's reasons why people go for certain stylists, whether it's the price range, whether it is the location, whether it's the age and how much they may be trending in their work. There's so many boxes that a stylist needs to check for you. And I think oftentimes we choose the people that we relate to in a way.
Absolutely.
And so I learned early on in my career to dress like who you want to attract in your chair. Once I got into doing short hair, specializing in short hair, I cut my hair. And once I cut my hair, that's what I attracted. I started attracting pixie clients. All my clients that had long hair, they wanted to cut their hair. Once I started to dress more professional, I want it to look like I want my clients to expect to spend $180 with me for their haircut. And that's what I started to get back. And I even tell my stylists when they're in training, I want you to find somewhere that you admire, somewhere outside of this salon space. Go to another salon, and I want you to take $100 and spend it with them, and tell me if you feel like that was the experience, if your experience was worth the $100 that you spent. And that's going to be based off of how you were greeted, how they service you, how they communicated with you, all of those things. So yeah, I think that's what we
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's what we tend to do. Yeah.
I'm sure. Can you add on to that a little bit? Because I didn't put in, I didn't set the whole, I'm over here sending messages. Y'all better get y'all asses in this chat because the young lady, you are spitting the fun out because I've never even heard it said like that before. But Cheryl, can you add a little bit more to the point of customers who influence the cosmetologist? And I think it's not talked about. And we would be remiss for you guys who are looking for a cosmetologist to not speak to the consumer in your role, because you have responsible leadership too when you come into the salon, and you may not be aware, but you do influence the cosmetologist or the technician, because we talk about nail techs and barbers and everybody. So sure, can you add a little bit to that as well?
I believe we do it anyway, and we especially do it with our primary physician. We do expect, we do have expectations, and I think that we got to reorganize what we do expect out of our hair professional. You know, we're just not accustomed to, like Savannah said, we're not accustomed to bringing that expectation and behavior to the salon as we take to the doctor's office and our yearly checkup. And it is relationship. You guys are not, you're having a relationship. And I think
absolutely
the professional who understands that this is a relationship. You're not just paying me for a service. I want to be able to guide you, teach you, educate you, orient you. I want to be able to hear your concerns. Every visit may not be a styling visit. We may, and you know, the focus is different between a hustler and an air type. This is my industry. This is all I got, and I'm representation of it. And so I'm not just, I'm focus driven, not action. And I think that that's basically what Savannah was, just to make sure I do an addition. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, this is very powerful. We could wow, I mean, Savannah came out the gate like harder than hard, not one bit soft, contagious and courageous, so you better break north. I mean, she came out the gate about why most people choose the wrong hairstylist. And we're going to move this conversation along. We do. We got the senators in the chat. And now don't forget, guys, if you have questions, please, this is the time to, speak your piece. And though Savannah is not speaking for that, your personal stylist per se, but we want to empower you, the consumer, because you got the dollar, right? You've got the dollar, so you have the power. So we want to help you with the power, and we're going to also help you choose the right stylist for you. But before we get to the clip, Savannah, we do have a statement here that you can address. And she's, I don't know if she's making a statement or a question, but what you just said, this is only for stylists that are not easily intimidated or not highly skilled. So some technicians are easily intimidated and not highly skilled. Let's take myself. I can't do no hair. I tell y'all, Savannah, I gotta come and see you. I cannot cut short hair. I cannot cut short hair. I'm
But
just
you still have your lane though.
right. I
It
got
don't
my
have to.
lane, but I'm gonna just use
Uh-huh.
myself just to move this conversation because we've got to talk to the customers that no, because no other platform is going to do this. Okay, they're not because
Mm-hmm.
hairstylists are very cocky and not all, but the ones that are out here, and because these are the ones who are saying, I can't get clientele. My books are fluctuating. And then these are the customers who are saying, she charged me too much money and I didn't like my hair. So let's use
Mm-hmm.
myself, for example, who cannot cut short hair. And so I am intimidated when someone comes in and they actually force me into it, and I'm not highly skilled. And they'll say, well, you could do it, you could try it. I don't know how much to charge. And so to that point about the customer influencing, can you speak to that, what she's saying, for those of us who are intimidated, who are not highly skilled? Speak that to the consumer who needs to be aware that that technician really does exist, and how would they know some signs that the person is not who you might think they are?
So one thing that always intrigued me with customers when they seek out a stylist is asking the stylist to do something they've never seen the stylist do. So now we're in an era where your portfolio is on social media, right? So you're coming to me because you found my online portfolio, right? And can you all hear me? It looked like we were frozen for a second. Can you hear me?
Baby, you on
You
fire,
hitting it. You hitting it.
So we get this quite often. In my salon, I have about 6 stylists currently, and it's three of us that do pixies. The other ones do natural hair. They're not cutting a pick nowhere near it. They're not relaxing, none of it. But one of my stylists, she's built her platform very well on social media. She don't do any short hair, but she often get people asking her to do a pixie, and then she have to redirect them to someone else's chair in the salon. And we have this conversation often. Why do they go to someone that they haven't seen them do the very thing they're asking? And then you're upset when they tell you, well, that's not what I do, and you didn't see it on the menu of services or any of that. So I think first it starts with your research. Do your research. Don't seek out a stylist and ask them for something you've never seen them do, you've never seen them promote, because you're setting yourself up to be disappointed. Now, once that stylist don't do their research and they come and sit in your chair for someone like you, Miss Ladosha, this is where I tell the stylist to level their expectations. Consultations are so imperative. Consultations are going to determine if they stay in your chair or not, or if you're going to give them a solid referral because you know that you're going to stay in your lane and you don't want to disappoint them. Now, oftentimes, because we communicate well, when we communicate well, the client will put more trust in us because they will be like, now I trust you even more because you told me what you can and cannot do, and I'm willing to let you practice on me.
And that does happen.
And that happens. So, but their expectations are leveled now because you told them, like, listen, this is not what I do, but I'm gonna make sure I do my best on you.
Now
And
you
they're gonna
just
accept
now
your
I'm sorry
best.
for cutting you off, but you just answered the question because I keep wondering why in the hell do y'all keep? I got lies in
Because
there,
they trust
and I haven't
you.
had the opportunity to go to the class yet. But we just want you, the consumer, to understand the power dynamics, the professional. There's a lot of dynamics into how we can service you, but you, the consumer, she's just giving you so many points of what you can do to find that correct stylist. And I think, Cheryl, if you could just expound upon the most powerful thing I have ever heard come from a cosmetologist is the consultation will determine if they stay in your chair. And we've talked about these consultations, but girl, we ain't never talked about it like that. So I'm gonna put that up there. So Cheryl, expound on that a little bit more. And then Savannah, I got a clip for you, and we got some more comments coming
You
through that
guys
chat.
hit that, man. You guys hit that. And it's so important for that kind of authoritative level because like I said again, we do it already. Y'all do not walk into Macy's expecting no food. Y'all just don't do that. And it's just that we need to put more Savannah, more we just need to we need to up our game. We gonna take it on the chest. Maybe we didn't set the proper expectations, because I don't go into Tiffany's expecting, you know, a 5-minute quick, just some studs and, you know, for my little girl, you know, little prom. I just don't do that. Our expectations, we have them.
Okay.
We don't apply them to beauty. We don't do it. And we have the behavior mechanism. We know where to apply it and where not to apply it. We don't apply it in the salon.
All right. The chat is looking real good. Again, if you guys can hit that thumbs up button, we are with Miss Savannah Harmon. She is the shear master out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Cleveland. I had to put that in there. And we're talking about why most people choose the wrong hairstylist. So here's a question for you again, Savannah. What about the stylists who are so ambitious to show you their skills, but not listening to the client? So how can a customer talk when the stylist won't listen? And this is why this platform is really important. Please, guys, if you are watching this post live, please drop your questions in the chat. I will forward them to Savannah. She is on Instagram, which I'm going to encourage you guys to go over to her page and follow her. You can fly to Las Vegas if you want to, but I'm going to drop her Instagram handle in the chat. So I'll put that question back up. I'm sorry, I took it down too fast. And then you can answer the question, what's a customer to do when the stylist is so busy showing their skills but not listening? What could that customer do?
So if it's your first time visiting a stylist, I always think it's best to schedule a consultation before a service. Don't go the same day you want your hair done if you're not fully confident in what you're asking. Do a consult only first, and then you have time to make that decision. Did I feel heard in that consult? And if you didn't, then that's not the stylist for you. You should be able to read that stylist. I know we're in the age of getting our bodies done, right? People going to the surgeons, and you're not going to go to the first one you find, right? You're going to do some research. You're not going to let them cut on your body. So don't put all that trust in with your hair in someone else's hands either, unless you've done a thorough consult with them and you feel they're a good fit. It's the same for a therapist, right? Normally that intake therapy session is for you both to determine, will this be a good fit for us? So you got to treat your personal services the same way.
All right.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Miss Shirley, that's a very good question. But like Savannah said, but the cosmetic surgeon's not going to let you do that. See, they're not going to let you come in and get cut on the first time. See, the industry does not allow you to do that. You understand? There must be relationing first. I must be able to check your man. Are you obsessed with just cutting on yourself? Then you're probably not ready for additional cosmetic. You know, it's guardrails. And I think that excellence is, we're giving you a line in the sand. And so we're giving you guardrails, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing that we must define for the customer, what do we mean by the wrong stylist? What have we defined wrong in that not listening is, and not following our industry standard? That's what one of the wrong, and we have to define what is the wrong, so you guys as clients will know what the behavior that's expected.
Wow. Okay. That's powerful. Let's get some clips going. I'm sure Savannah's got something to do after this. I'm gonna make sure we kind of go. It's flowing really good. Again,
I'm
you can follow
enjoying this
her
with y'all.
All right, you can follow her over on Instagram at Savannah, the Sheer Master. She is not here in Cleveland, Ohio. You will have to check her out in Las Vegas, okay? And the name of your salon, say it again because I don't have my thing open. It's called
Salon Culture with a
Salon
K.
Salon Culture with a K, and I will put that link in the description while she's talking. But let's get this going on. And here's a person who's vetting hairstylists in LA. Now these clips are coming off of TikTok. This one is a little over a minute, but I'll stop it when she gets to the point. But here we go.
Great question. Let's talk about how I'm vetting all of the LA hairstylists I'm going to try before I even sit in their chair. First thing that I will look at is the hair type of their client's hair when it is wet. Ideally, I'm looking for at least 1 to 2 clients with a hair type that is similar to my own. My hair is super thick and my curl pattern is pretty tight, so I just want to make sure they're comfortable doing my hair type. Related, I'm also going to look for heat damage when their hair is wet. I know a lot of people hop around, so the heat damage may not have been caused by that stylist. That stylist could be rehabbing that hair, but if every single one of their clients when their hair is wet has a super loose heat damage curl pattern, that for me is a red flag. Second thing I look for is a good thorough detangling technique. My hair, like I said, is pretty thick, so I want someone who's going to spend the time in small sections really detangling my hair when it's wet. Number 3 is by far the most important and the most common violation that I see, and it's the quality of the blow dry. This is where a lot of hairstylists miss the mark. They will try to flat iron their way out of a poor blow drying technique, and that leads to heat damage.
All right. So she wants that stylist to have a certain look. She's doing some serious vetting. So the first question is it really that serious? I mean, do you really got to break it down to the very last compound to how the hairstylist look? Because there is a trend. I don't know if you saw it. It's on all of the social media platforms where hairstylists are saying, don't worry about how I look. As long as I can do your hair, how I look don't have anything to do with my skill set. And then we'll speak to her being persnickety.
Shoot.
I agree with her. I like everything that she's looking for. To me, she sounds like someone that's an experienced a stylist for a very long time and relocated possibly, so she has standards. So I can respect her standards. I think that only develops when you have been through a lot or you've experienced a high standard, a professional standard. So I don't knock her for what she's looking for. And again, I do think it matters how the stylists look.
Really?
I
Wow.
do. I
do you, Cheryl? How many people in the chat agree that it does matter how the stylist looks? While we're waiting for some answers, again,
Absolutely.
We're firing on all cylinders. Thank you so much on Facebook. We appreciate you very much on LinkedIn. And of course, right here on YouTube and Instagram. We want to know how many of you feel like it matters. Yes, it does matter, or no, it just doesn't matter as long as they get my hair did. That's all I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. So add to it. Does the image matter?
I think that is probably your uniform and how you show up is probably generational. I do think that when you're trained that way, you do know that you are at work. But I don't think hairstylists understand. Also, we're in fashion, we're in beauty. We are in an industry that is quite flamboyant. We are supposed to raise the bar. We want our clients to know that we pay attention to every details because we've paid attention to our details. I do think it matters. And I think that once we get back there, they're coming into a beauty world. They need to know, because once again, see where our expectations are not aligned. Because you
right.
Go into, do you go into Valentino or into any other store? What do they look like?
Okay.
They don't look drab, right?
Right. So I'm going to ask you a question now. Our virtual co-host,
Okay.
Sandra, is saying it's time for us to hit that thumbs up button. We're going to do a little clip. But before we do that, I would like for you to answer the question where Cheryl is kind of leading into, is about the persnickety client. We showed a clip last week where the lady said, I spent $500 on these braids. And it just, I thought the braids looked fine. And so the people in the chat was like, that does not look like $500 worth of service. And that, remember, sure, last Monday they were saying that that hairstyle was worth, yeah, they were in the chat saying it was only worth $150. I was like, oh my God.
Okay, come on, we gotta get Savannah's opinion.
Yeah, so before we get Savannah's take on the persnickety client, our virtual co-host says now is a good time for you guys to do this to help change the narrative about why most people choose the wrong hairstylist. Here's what you got to do right now. Hit that thumbs up button right now. Here we go.
Pump me on, pump me on.
Yeah. All right, Savannah, we're going to kick you. We want you to take it away. What ye say to the consumer out there who's like the young lady in the video? They're just very persnickety. I can tell by the way she shampoos my hair. I can tell she parts it, the way she tangles it, how they smell. I mean, just very, the water was perfect room temperature. Okay. What about the persnickety customer? What do we say to them?
How do we handle them? The ones
Yeah,
that
like the persnickety ones, that I can't believe she charged me $500. I don't think it's worth it. That she didn't detangle my hair. She pulled too much,
Oh, well, that's a challenging one because one, did you know the price going into it? Or was this a new price after the service was done? If you knew going into it, then what are we complaining about? And I get it if you feel like the service that was rendered did not feel worth the experience, then that's another debate, right? So I can understand that. But was it so bad that you don't ever want to go back because of the experience or because of the price? So I think once you differentiate the two, then you got to find someone in your tax bracket, someone that's in a more suitable price range for you based on the experience of what you're going to get. But
now I know you can't say because everybody has their own price. But what's your take on charging too much? I think I got a clip here that I'm going to show because that is, and I get that a lot. Like those are charging.
You want me to wait on the clip?
All right. So here's the clip right here. Here we go.
Why is it so expensive to get our hair done? It is it's not expensive. If I'm giving you that time, I got to either take 10 people and you're going to be sitting there with me all day, or I'm going to give you that one-on-one service and you got to pay for it. And then even the extensions, they're not cheap extensions. So it all comes in a deal. Like we can get you cheap hair and make the service, cheaper, but that's not what y'all want. I think when it comes to pricing, you have to shop within your budget. Yes. If you cannot afford it, you just have to wait until you get some more money. I think.
Absolutely.
All right. The number one, the biggest complaint about why people choose the wrong hairstylist is that we get in there and then they charge exorbitant amount of dollars and they just don't think the service is worth. And the amount you, the consumer, can put in any amount. Savannah is just going to help you guys navigate. Your biggest complaint is that it just costs way too much money.
I think it's fair to look at stylists like other businesses, right? So think of fast food restaurants. You have McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. And then on another level, you got Chipotle. Then on another level, we got Red Lobster, Olive Garden. And then when you want to go fine dining, what do we have? Red Steakhouse, What
Chris.
else? What else we
Ruth,
have?
Ruth, Ruth, Ruth
Ruth
Chris.
Chris,
The
right?
Capitol Grill. You know.
The Capitol Grill. So consider your technicians no different. That is how we market and brand ourselves to separate us. So when you're looking for someone, you're like, oh man, their prices are really high. Well, they might be on that Capitol Grill fine dining level of experience is what they expect. And oftentimes it's not necessarily you paying them for what you're getting, you're paying them for what they know. Right? We're not new to this industry, right? We've mastered this. So if we were to go and get a doctorate in this, the price is going to change. So after we've invested and invested and invested and invested, the price can't stay the same because I'm investing in myself to be better for you, to give you a greater service, to give you a greater experience, to grow your hair, to be able to let you know what's going on with your condition or whatever the case may be. So I think it's fair to view stylists as that. And if you feel that the money don't match the experience, then you got to keep shopping around until you get it. But they exist.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I'm sure that you want to add to it. Like the hairstylist, I get y'all got to pay y'all bills and y'all got to pay rent just like the rest of us. But some of y'all just out here really charging way too much money, and y'all know that the work is not worth it. So there was Savannah's take on it. What's your take on the consumer who's really they're just price conscious? I don't want to say that people are cheap because that's very condescending, but that is a legitimate complaint that we hear about our industry, is that we charge way too much money.
Two things. One, you are not really getting an experience in a braid, especially when it's over 24 inches long. She's not concentrating and talking to you. She is not engaging with you. She is braiding your hair. That is pure craftsmanship. She doesn't have time to engage with you. So you can't gauge that kind of hairstyle with certain hairstyles. It takes too much concentration. So the customer service is the person being present on your head and making sure. And so sometimes we say, oh, the experience. Like, what is an experience in a braiding kind of service that she is really concentrating physically on the technique, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think also, and let me just say the second thing, I'm going to just say this, and this is more intrinsic in terms of our mentality. I think we have a class issue. I think because the salon is just historically in our community, in where we drive through, and there's a mentality that for some reason the people who are earning that money that you're going to be paying, somehow we have a mentality that maybe white women don't have. They're not expecting their hairstylist to kind of match what the charging according to what their ability. We don't owe you that. What we owe you is for us to make sure that we connect with you, we relation with you, and we give you what it is that you want. We also leave open the relationship for it to grow and expand, to give you a trust factor, to make sure that we give you some intangibles, because mostly if you think about hairstyling, it is technical. We're actually giving you something with your hair, but at the end of the day, it is about 60-40. It's 40 tangible, but it's about 60 intangible. And so I think that it's just our responsibility to change the nature of the professional relationship. And I think it'll come together. And I think that three women here we're devoted, and our mentors are devoted, and we're all devoted to give you guys a better product.
All right. Okay. So we have a statement here. What's up, Trish? How you doing? She says she agrees with you in your expertise by getting continuing education, and you have the certifications to prove it. You've earned the right to charge higher prices. So in this video clip, I want to take this down. The consumer, I'm playing devil's advocate. Now, again, guys, please feel free to answer your questions. If you ask them, post the live. I will make sure that Savannah gets them, and I will put quotation mark so that you'll know that she said it. And then, of course, you can follow her on Instagram. But in this particular video, when we talk about the person is skilled, so how would the consumer know if a person is skilled when you have people on social media doing this right here? And Savannah, you're called the shear master, and the haircut is the number 2 complaint in the hair salon is that witch cut off too much damn hair. The bangs was heavy. My layers was, So let me show you this clip as we talk about how do you know that that stylist is truly skilled to charge that much money. Here we go.
And another thing, stop doing this. Stop cutting hair and saying that that's a trim. If you went to cosmetology school, this is not the way they taught you how to trim hair. This right here is a 0-degree blunt cut. This is not a professional trim. You're cutting hair at a 0-degree angle, creating a blunt cut. This is not a trim. Stop doing this if you're a professional cosmetologist.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a master cutter, so I'm going to slide on over here, but that's a complaint. Technique, cutting off too much. You are Savannah Harmon, the shear master. So we got to go into detail about these haircuts, what's proper. How do you know a person is qualified? Like, give up the grapes on a quote unquote master cutter, technique, charge, help our consumers out. We're talking about the dumbest shit that people say about black hair is they charge too damn much of them haircuts. They can't even cut no damn hair. It could be true. It could be false. Go ahead, Savannah, take it away.
Now, this is something that the black salon versus the white salon do differently. And that's how we charge when it comes to haircuts. Right?
Now, what you mean? Now, you got to break that down.
The consumer in black salons want us to differentiate a trim from a haircut. Whereas white salons do not differentiate a trim for a haircut. A trim is a haircut. So you're going to pay the same price every time in a white salon that you would pay for a regular haircut. Even if you only need 1/2 inch versus 2 inches off, it's still a haircut.
Let me pause you right there. Hold on. We got to do it.
She can get my hammer time.
Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got permission. Wait a minute, family. I just got permission. Say that last sentence again. A cut is a what? Say it again.
It's a haircut. It's a trim cut is a haircut.
Here we go.
Trim.
Hammer time.
I like that.
Did y'all hear this? Consumers.
Yeah, and that's truly a difference. That's a significant difference in our community. And I think oftentimes in the black salons, we do try to conform to what majority of the consumers think is right? We try to speak their language to accommodate them, because that's what majority of the people are doing. Just like calling a relaxer a perm. We've been saying that wrong for so long. But you still have stylists saying wrong terminology because of the consumers. So that haircut and trim is the same thing.
See, now
that actually was the persnickety woman when she was in. She's using consumer lingo, jargon to communicate with a professional.
The chat that got pissed on you. They said, hell, come on, Savannah. Just say, I'm walking home. This is so hard for black. Now, I worked in a white salon, and they have the stuff was a la carte, and it is totally different. Like, one of the things I remember is that the white stylists would say, like, they would come in just to get a haircut, walk out the door. And the black people wanted the whole thing. And the black people would say, why do they get their hair haircut and just walk out the door. And the white people would ask, how in the hell can they afford
all of that?
All of that. Like, that is just no way.
Mm-hmm.
So do we cave in to the culture, or do we set the tone that this is the professional way? And I know we're not telling you guys how to run your business, and consumers, we are not telling you if a salon doesn't do it this way, but you need to understand what's professional. So can you answer that?
Yeah, and I think it's only fair for us to know our demographic, right, and accommodate them, but also educate them in the process, right? So because this is what you're accustomed to, I don't mind meeting you where you are, but I have to elevate you. I got to bring you up to where I need you to be as well. So if that's what I'm going to do on this visit, I'll accommodate that, but just know that this is what it really is. So gradually we're going to get to where it needs to be. So from a professional's perspective, I'll go ahead and take the trim, the trim price, but I need you to know what the actual price is. This is really a haircut. Although
right.
you may not be getting. Go ahead. Right. I'm sorry, Cheryl.
No, and just let's be clear. If I wanted to give it to you, I would be doing it and you didn't ask for it. I will be doing it for the sake of the feather or the style or how it falls. And I will be probably feathering it and just trimming off, you know what I mean? And just doing a slight reduction. But I won't expect you to pay for that. I will be doing that for the sake of how I want it to fall. And you are accustomed to it falling a certain way. But it's not lost on us, clients, that you have a different relationship with length than other races of women do. We know that length says something different to you. It speaks different to Black women. That's not lost on us. And so we know that length is some type of other psychological currency for you. We are aware of that. We're Black women. But we also have to service that to get you what she said, bring you up and upgrade that. And that length is not always the main objective. The style and thickness and flow and how easy it is to maintain at home is more the objective.
And now, how is the consumer who's watching this like, okay, Savannah, you're making some really valid points, but how do I know that? Because you and Ladosha, we get y'all on social media, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not in there. I'm in the real world where they may not be on there, or they are, and they're not posting like you guys are. How would the average consumer who's watching this podcast, because we do have over 400,000 views. So thank you guys. If somebody's watching us, okay, how would they know if she or he is skilled in cutting hair? How would they know?
I think the most common form of marketing for stylists is word of mouth. So chances are, someone that's been serviced by the person that got there. If they're not on any social media platforms, we're not just going in a phone book anymore, finding these people. So someone may have referred you to that client. So there's still a way for you to know what type of work they do based on who may be referring you. So that's still a way for you to get your research in. And again, going back to that consultation, if this is your first time going to that client and you have not had your ends trimmed in 6 months or a year, if that stylist don't tell you that you need your ends trimmed, chances are they're not into healthy hair. Because I would expect for my stylist to tell me, this is how much split you have on your ends. And if you don't know if you have any split, ask them if they can show you. Do I have any split? Can you show me how high is it split before heat is applied? While it's in its natural state, while it's in a blown dry state. Ask them, can you tell me where my split is? Can you show me how much would need to be trimmed off? Before I cut anyone, I'm showing them This is the length. I'll use my comb. I'll show them in the mirror. This is how much length. Everything underneath the comb is what has to go.
Wow. So
And
you're
like
turning them to the mirror and you're letting them see. Now, what about the shortcuts? Like, do I really need to get this cut, every month? I mean, like, that is like a lot, when a lot of people come to me for the haircut, it appears that on the shorter cuts, their concern is that how the hair does it look. And of course, in the consult, because I'm a staunch. I know I'm so staunch on consultations. They free at our salon. That they've not been taught that the hair grows out. So what are you saying to the customer who's not aware of the maintenance of certain cuts? So because shortcuts, and I'm going to show your Instagram page while you're talking, to answer the question, and I'll get to your question next, Trish, but to answer the question about, the maintenance on those pixie cuts, because they get the haircut, especially for like prom, and they're like, what happened to my hair? And this, so let's talk about those shortcuts while I show your Instagram page and what's the maintenance on it? What does that look like in real time for those people who really, really want those pixie cuts?
So maintenance on pixies, one, is determined by your texture, your hair texture, your lifestyle. Do you work out? Do you perspire a lot? Are you going through menopause, perimenopause, all those things? And what are you capable of doing in between salon visits? I often tell clients that pixies they should be low at home maintenance, but they're high salon maintenance.
Wow.
Meaning, I don't expect you to be able to reduplicate what I did in the salon, but I will teach you how to mold it. If I know you work out 3 times a week in the gym, then I do want you to be able to have a decent style for you to be able to manage. But I don't expect you to be able to curl like me. I don't expect your curls to last as well as they will after I've done them. So you have to be willing to commit to the salon maintenance and know what at-home maintenance is going to cost you as far as timing. Do you have time to be shampooing and molding your hair? Do you have the skill to do it? And making sure you have the products that's going to make you presentable.
So you're saying, let's take this is the haircut that I have, the young lady with the white shirt on. And then let's talk about this shorter cut here. So you're saying that as a professional, you use some discernment that if the customer is not able to do that, you would know in their consultation. So you would not recommend either of these cuts for a person who can't do the requirements of what you think it takes to do it at home and to return. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So certain cuts, a lot of people like bobs, right? They like bobs where it may be by the ear. Let's think of Kelly Rowland, right? Kelly Rowland has that blunt cut bob that's really jawline. That could be low maintenance for certain textures of hair. But if you have a fine texture of hair that don't hold a curl that well, you might lose volume really fast and it's going to go limp. And if you're just sleeping on your hair, you have to anticipate it's not going to have as much movement as it did.
Does that apply to and I'm not saying this young lady have hair weaves, but we got to throw in the hair weaves because a lot of people are concerned about that too, that I paid for this hair weave and this hairstyle is not performing. So does that same rules of engagement with hair at home and returning for the salon visit, does it apply to hair additions as well?
It do, because the maintenance, the upkeep of the additions, the extensions, and also a lot of people don't want to spend the necessary money on quality extensions, right? On quality hair. So you have now a lot of people are going to Amazon and getting hair, but when you buy cheap extensions and you bring them, the stylists end up being blamed, right, for how bad the style came out. But the hair was so bad, you weren't going to get this glamorous look with cheap hair, right?
But now let me just play devil's advocate. I I can't do weaves, okay? I can't, because, man, the weave customers, they just too tough for me. I be crying. Like, I'm sorry. You take all your money back, okay? Now speak to this quality of hair, because I don't do it, but again, we're trying to help you, the consumer, out. So I mean, they're like, but it's just weave, Savannah. I'm just trying to do something right quick. I don't really want to spend. So why, or the quality of the hair. Now you got me on quality of hair, you got me on home maintenance, you got me on I gotta come back. Damn, Savannah, it's just a hairstyle. Help a customer
I
out.
know. That's why these consultations are so important, because this is what we go over in the consultations. If you're coming to me for a weave, I'm going to ask you, do you want to reuse the weave? Are we keeping the weave long so that we can reuse it? Because once we start cutting it up, some stylists might not care about putting it back in, but for me, that's like piecing together a puzzle. I don't have the patience to put back in chopped up weave. So I'm going to ask you, do you plan to reuse this hair? If you plan to reuse it, then we definitely need to go with better quality hair. For instance, this hair that I'm wearing, y'all, these are extensions that we sell. But this hair,
Damn,
installed it 5 times.
Y'all better hit that thumbs up. That look good in the summer, okay?
I've installed this weave 5 times. It's good quality. I'll ask, do you plan to come back for salon maintenance? Meaning, are we going to do your shampoos with the hair, or are you going to do it yourself at home? And if so, then I'm going to give you instructives. I'm going to give you instructions, directives on how to manage the hair so it's not
Isn't the
tangling up.
purpose, I'm playing devil's advocate now, but isn't the purpose of getting a weave is so that you don't have to do all this shit that you're I just want you to just sew it, and I want to wake up in the morning, I want to fluff it, or I want to take my fingers if I got a little short one, and I just want to go. Can't a weave just
there is no shortcuts here. No.
Our motto with this extension line that we're now selling is invest in high maintenance things so you can have low maintenance. Right?
She got all of y'all better hit this thumbs up
button. I don't even know why Key Lolo even see she
no, I work in the salon daily. We have like Dr. Spritz, he does hair weaves. I don't know how he does it. I mean, their expectations are like, whoa, but I don't know. And I don't think a lot of consumers understand that the quality of hair, I don't know anything about hair, so y'all gotta forgive me, but I thought, hell, I would think artificial hair would be better than spending a lot of money on real hair. So what do you say? Is that true? Am I off in that regard? That the 20, it was that model, the something with the lady on it with Vivica Fox and all of them,
no, I think either way it's going to be an investment, right? I think whether you invest in your hair being natural and healthy, or you're investing in extensions for a low maintenance lifestyle, it's still going to be an investment. Either way, it's going to cost you on both ends. So it depends on what your hair goals are.
So it ain't, hey, I hate to say it, but I gotta say it.
Go on and say it.
If you gotta ask, you can't afford it, y'all. It's just a hair. Ain't no other way. I can't even apologize, because it is what she just told you. Whether you're buying high-end hair, you're buying low-end, the maintenance at home and returning to the salon, at least she's talking about every 2 to 3 weeks, is an absolute must. And it is what it is. And when it comes to the pixie cuts, like you said, you're not expecting them to be able to style the hair. Absolutely. But the maintenance at home is a must, and you have to return back to get that haircut. And coming back in 2 months saying, why this haircut looks bad.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Don't ask me that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let me ask you guys a question, but you both answer it. So let's just say we talk about length, right? Do you think, and you guys can answer this in the chat, do you guys think that women, and I know it's a black women thing, okay? Do you believe that, let's just say the video, and she was cutting, do you think women believe that the length is down here, or you think the length is up here? do you think that when their hair grows, for some reason, they're focused on down here? They don't know that the length comes from here. So what do you think when Black women, the reason why they have this issue, right? What is their mentality about length? Because of course, they value this so much that they don't realize that to keep this nice and blunt and healthy is what's going to give them that fabulous look. They don't, for some reason, I don't know if we didn't teach the length right, where your length actually comes from, or are they just so hyper focused on and obsessed with the hair, because this is where your ends of your hair, it's the oldest. This hair used to be here. Okay, so it took how many years for it to get here? You don't realize that how much your hair is touching your shoulders, and it's wear and tear, and it's doing things. Like, is there an opportunity for us to get reoriented?
Yeah. I'm
because
just gonna.
It happens to weaved hair as well, because it's natural hair.
Yeah, because you do have those women that are pushing leave the weaves in for like 8 months or something like that, and then take them back down. It's a whole business. No, it is. It's coming out of North Carolina. Yeah, it's an entire business that said leave this weave in for 8 or 6 months or something that's exorbitant. That's not. I would just, just for in essence of time, because I want to talk about, the AB 222. It has to start in the consultation. I do think to all of you consumers out here, I would agree with Savannah. If you're not getting the consultation so that can be explained to you, because different people have different mindsets and thought processes on it. You can't make a blanket statement because everybody has a yeah, but. So the consultation is key. If you're going to a hair salon and you don't get the consultation, you're just headed into the danger zone. We've had customers come in our salon that's like, I don't want the consultation. We take the cape off, we put them out the door, because we know that is not the customer for us, and that is not to be disrespectful, but at least they let us know I don't want it, and we appreciate that, because there are salons who will do that. So the answer to me, to help them understand how that hair growth is, you have to do that in the consultation if that's their goal. Savannah, your turn.
Yeah, I agree, Cheryl. I think people are more focused on the length down here instead of how it grow out. But I do think that there's a new wave of stylists that focus on retention. So that's a fairly new or modern term, retention specialists. And those are the stylists that's focused on just the hair care aspect and less of the styling aspect. They're doing the treatments, they're doing the electric things, whatever they're doing in the scalp. And now you have more head spas where you can get more treatments and things of that sort. So I do think that now people are becoming more educated on how hair grows and how you're supposed to retain the length. And I think that was with the help of the natural wave, everyone going natural. And then still some people, I think it's still mixed reviews on, is the hair healthiest when there's no heat applied versus heat being applied. So I think you still have people trying to determine what form of natural is healthy. But I do think people are becoming more educated on it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Back to Trisha's question. We're going to get into your advocacy for apprenticeship. So her question would be we're getting back to that white client, black client. She's saying that they pay more for their haircut because they don't visit the salon as often, and black people visit more, so they don't expect to kind of like pay as much. So what do you say to that comment? My question would be, the white client pays a lot more for their haircut, be visiting their stylist as often as the black client. So
that actually isn't true. They don't pay more for a haircut. And haircuts, typically people, no matter what texture of hair, you need a haircut around the same amount of time, whether you have Caucasian hair or ethnic hair, you probably still need a haircut around 8-week mark, depending on the length, right? It can go from 2 weeks to 12 weeks as far as when you need your haircut again. But no, their prices are not significantly different. We were just saying in terms, I think her question came around the trim versus haircut.
Okay.
Because we are doing more in the service, right? We are doing textured hair, curly hair mostly. We're blow drying, we're silking it out. We're offering more in that service. So that combined with the cost of a haircut is going to be more in some cases what
Right.
Caucasian people are paying for a
Right.
haircut.
And now,
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that they also have a misconception that you're trimming for shape? You're not trimming just to trim. You're trimming to maintain what they actually paid you for originally.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope if you guys are loving this information, again, please check out Miss Savannah. She is right here. Whoops, let me just share this again. Hold on, let me present this right quick. Oh, let me go back. Okay, add the stage. There it is. Okay. So if you want to know more about what we're talking about tonight, make sure you go over and check out Savannah. She's over on Instagram at Savannah_Shearmaster, and this is some of her work. And the name of her salon, I put her link to the hair salon is in the chat. You could just tap on it. It's a wonderful website, and you could check her out over on right here on Instagram. So now, as we wrap this up, we got about 7 good minutes. So let's talk about Las Vegas AB225, and that's the video that I saw you, and you just really, you drew me in. And again, we want to thank the chat, just significantly got pretty large, and we thank you all so much on all cylinders. We're firing up. We thank you all so much for welcoming Savannah in this grand style. So Savannah, can you share with us what is AB225 in Las Vegas, and how did you get involved, and where it stands? And let's just get this in good.
So AB225 is a bill particularly for the beauty and barber industry here in Nevada. And it was to create multiple pathways to licensure, one being through apprenticeships. So there were so many facets of this bill. We all know how laws go before legislature. Those bills will have so many different things combined in them. Some things you may be for, some things you may be against. But the goal was to bring both sides, the stakeholders in this particular scenario were the school owners. They were on the opposite side of this bill. So it was to bring the stakeholders and those professionals in support of the bill to the table to see where we can meet in the middle so that we can elevate the industry together by bringing these new ideas forward. There were issues specifically pertaining to barbers. Nevada is one of the hardest states for barbers to get licensed, whether they're transferring a license or getting their license here. We're one of the hardest places because we have simple verbiage in the licensure, in the regulations that say moral character can determine if they are given a license.
Wow.
And ultimately, who can be the judge of moral character? So that then give the people who have the ability to issue the license a lot of power to say, well, you have a criminal background. So we feel that is not good moral character. So we don't want to issue you a license. And we know many barbers oftentimes have backgrounds, right?
Okay.
So this is an industry that gives second chances. So we wanted to address those issues. For cosmetologists, me being a salon owner, I was there to testify to my experience of dealing with cosmetology schools coming out of beauty schools, and they're just not ready. I'm having to invest more time and money into them, and the resources are so limited for us as owners, right? So if they're not ready, then how can we work together to better equip them? And this bill was proposing to allow us to offer on-the-job training while they're in school, or from the beginning. We could offer a limited amount of apprenticeship spaces, just like other industries do. Other industries also offer on-the-job training. It will take longer, but what we know is licensure do not mean that you're equipped or ready. We're in an industry where we constantly have to do things in repetition to master it. So this will give them an advantage by being hands-on from conception. It was not allowing us to not teach, to get rid of theory. We still were going to have curriculum. There's actually a federal curriculum. And being a salon owner or a barbershop owner, there were resources available. There are resources available to other owners that offer on-the-job training. But because Nevada's laws do not allow apprenticeships within our industry, we are not able to get those type of resources.
Oh, so that the bill did not pass?
So the bill did not pass. And briefly, another thing, this is a common issue within the industry nationwide. We often hear people complain about braiders not shampooing and blow drying hair. Well, here in Nevada, braiders are not licensed to shampoo or blow dry. Braiders are not required to go to school. All they do is have to take the barber side certification test and take some tests that has no curriculum to get licensed. They are not mandated to work in a salon. We have a braider out here that do hair in her bedroom. State board went to her home and told her to put a curtain up around her bedroom and that would be okay. Just don't let it look like it's a bedroom. And that's what state board allowed. So we wanted to put some more parameters in place for braiders. So yeah, the bill unfortunately did not pass.
Are you guys listening to
Miss Ladosha? Put us up big. Put us up big. Put us up.
Okay, take us down. Hold on. Okay. All right. My nerves is bad. I need a drink. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to drink on the job. Oh Lord, I wasn't ready.
One of the reasons why I retired from the physical part, because we need so much executive skill sets. Let me just say this. So now you know what she said. She snuck it past us, right? This is out of control. She said, all they need, did you catch it? All they need is a barber side. Okay? What is barber side?
That's that solution that you put in.
No. I know what it is. Well, I know what they sell. Who is barber side?
Who is barber side? Like who's selling it?
What are they to the industry?
I don't know what you mean. I'm kind of confused. I'm sorry.
They are a random manufacturer, stupid, astringent. Okay. Now, I want you to understand the lack, and I'm going to put it on the chest. This is our problem. This is lack of organization, advocacy, and proper. A manufacturer is allowed and it's acceptable. They did not accept the apprenticeship and leadership of the actual professional. They accepted the leadership of a stupid astringent company. And that is how we got Milady. Milady was never the how it started. It started out as a barbering supply store. Okay. And this is because we don't understand the underpinnings and how the infrastructure of how. And so we've, with Marjorie Stewart joined, we've been the professional from True and True. So the advocacy Okay, when Mr. Morrow used to travel all over the world and tell state boards that y'all not gonna tell us what to do from your armchair and your legislative boards and you guys are, even though we love you guys to be here, but you are in the perimeter. You're not within the cell of who we are in the culture and the people styling. They denied her, a person who has mastered the actual skill but accepted these rogue outside barber side, and because that's the corporate dollar. And I hate to say it is our issue. We have to be able to tell them we need your ass to get out, and we give you your place. You don't tell us what to do, and that is, I think, the complete job. This is a fight of the industry for generations to come, because people who will never meet you, Savannah and Ladosha, they will never meet you. They'll be talking about you the way they talk about Marjorie Stewart Joyner, Dr. Katie Wickham. They will be talking about you and saying, thank God that you guys at least understood that we need to change the wiring. It's wired. I caught it.
Wow. Now, to give some context to what Cheryl is telling you guys, don't forget, customers, you can get this book as well. It's called Styling Jim Crow. This captures before we reached, a company like Barbicide superseding the expertise of the skill set of Savannah Harmon. This book captures how African Americans set the tone for professionalism, public safety, and sanitation in our industry during the Jim Crow era. This is a historian who wrote this book. If you're in the industry, you're that persnickety as a consumer, please go out and get this book. It is by Julia Kirk Blackwelder. So again, it's called Styling Jim Crow. And then, of course, we are trying to do some of this stuff here. As you guys know, we did introduce House Bill 414, the Texture Hair Science Bill here in the state of Ohio. Savannah pointed out that we did go to Georgia to help them. We was able to, push them back, but they came back through what's his name, Governor, I forgot his name over there in Georgia, and they lost that fight. But boy, we put it up. They did put some more parameters in that for that blow dry bar that we were able to do that. So Savannah, your work is definitely needed to stay in hot pursuit. And the next time me and Cheryl will come down there and we'll help you, kick butt and take numbers, because she can't do this by herself, guys. And Cheryl, I don't know about you, Savannah, but she gave me a perspective that I had never even thought of.
And let me say this too. Come close, y'all. I don't want to say it. I want to whisper it. Guess who got richer during the pandemic?
Barbicide.
Yeah. And see, that is what really just, yeah. We got work to do, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you messed Cheryl, you blew everybody back with the Barbicide and the curtain. I mean, good Lord. Savannah, your work is definitely that's what when I saw you talk about as we wrap it up, you talked about the back and forth, that you were just appalled at some of the stuff that you were hearing and how the people were just acting. But you steadfast, you stayed there and you gave testimony that I know what that is like. I really, really do. We had the same fight here in Ohio. This is how we brought Fatu. Thanks to Senator Smith, former Senator Shirley Smith is in the chat. And we brought her here. We had to do what you're talking about because they were just out of control with some of the stuff they were saying. So we actually had to go get someone from Africa to say that is not true. It was just that deep. We spent the money out of our own pocket. So we want you to stay at it. And when you go back, please let Cheryl and I know. we'll grab some people, and go back down there if it comes up again. So what else do you have going on? And can you drop some phone numbers to your salon and all that good stuff in case some people watch us from all over, they can know how to reach out to you. So what you got going on and how
Absolutely.
Yes.
So currently we still have the Salon Apprentice University going on at Salon Culture. So if you are local, it is definitely geared more toward locals because we like to bring people in, get you trained up, and you can enroll into our apprenticeship where we train you on not only the skills, but also the business side of the industry and branding. So we have that going on. And you can catch us on Instagram at Salon Culture. That's KULTURELV, as well as our website that's in the link of the chat. And our phone number is 702-836-9592. We service women from all walks of life: hair, nails, skincare, body waxing, makeup.
That's what
We
I'm
do
talking
it
about.
all.
Wow.
Y'all
All
do
right,
nails?
let's give her what'd you say, Cheryl?
They do nails? That's what I'm talking about.
We do nails, yeah.
All right, so let's give her a big fat round of applause. Standing ovation. Come on, y'all. Come on, drop them hands from a girl in the chat. Y'all hit them thumbs up button. We appreciate you all so very much. Again, we are concluding with Savannah Harmon, the shear master coming out of Las Vegas, Nevada. She has given us the real huggy lowdown on why most people choose the wrong hairstylist. Hopefully, you have walked away with a plethora of information and some insight, and hopefully the confidence to use the power of choice that you have before you spend that dollar. And don't forget, most important, if you're not getting that consultation, just don't go. Just don't go. I think that's it. Cheryl, what do you want to say to Savannah? We're gonna let you. Savannah got all this love in the chat. What do you want to say to Savannah?
What a pleasure to be with the consummate women of this industry that is committed. And once we stay committed, I think it's affirmative that we know that this is an industry of our culture and our heritage. This is our inheritance. This is all we got. And we are all it got. And just what a pleasure to be able to say we are in it to rebuild it, to redefine what it is to our community, redefine what it is to the world, because the world is actually waiting for us to get our act together. And they're waiting for us to come hard and to really trailblaze the new Afro future of what it means to the planet. And I think that, we have the best team. I think that I'm more excited now to have met Savannah and Kilolo. Your ass as always. Now, I think we need
Savannah, she just kicked it up a notch.
We need to shoot the panel of the century.
Yeah, and
do it.
We'll try. And Savannah, the whole foundation of excellence is just it leaves me speechless. And so we typically say something else when we leave out, but tonight I'm going to switch to our other closeout because you definitely represent excellence. Michelin Jones is in the chat saying, Savannah, you are amazing. She is going to continue to set the bar high for the industry. We do need to raise the bar, and Savannah has given us a lot of reasons why we raise the bar. And you, the consumer, you stand to gain all the benefits of what Savannah has brought to us here as we answer the question on why most people choose the wrong hairstylist. So on that note, what we're going to say when we're signing out, Savannah, we hope that you can come back and join us again. You have to come back because your poise, your confidence, your excellence is just oozing. In that chat, that comment just gave me like goosebumps about what that person just wrote about you. So what we say we're going to sign out this time is, for sure, guys, good, better, best. Never let it rest. And according to Savannah, until your good is better and your better is best. Thank you so much, Savannah. You are truly, truly, truly a pillar of excellence in our industry. And it is truly our honor to have had you as a guest to help consumers understand why they truly do choose the wrong hairstylist. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you both for having me. I appreciate you both.
All right, chat. Y'all don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much, Sandra, for helping us out. And you guys, we appreciate you very, very much. Cheryl, you have a great night. And this truly was a great podcast. So y'all have a good night. Thanks, Savannah.
All right. Good night. You're welcome. Thank you.
Cheryl, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed her. Hey! It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.